The head of the World Health Organization has warned that Gaza is experiencing a health catastrophe which will last for generations to come. Dr Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus told the BBC that a massive increase in aid is needed to begin to address its population's complex needs. The WHO chief also said that aid should not be weaponized. He called on Israel not to impose conditions on its delivery. Let's have a listen to part of that interview.
There should be full access and there should not be any condition, especially after all the living hostages were released and a good part of the remains are transferred. I didn't expect that there would be additional restrictions.
Could the international community, and in particular the US, be doing more to make sure that that happens?
I think a follow-up of what has been agreed will be very important. And since the US has brokered the peace deal, it had the responsibility of making sure that, all sides are respecting the deal and doing as per the deal. So US has, of course, a responsibility in this.
Well, all of this comes as the US Vice President J.D. Vance has been meeting Israel's Prime Minister to discuss the next steps in the Gaza ceasefire deal. J.D. Vance has been pressing Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli leaders to make what's been described as difficult concessions over Gaza. Washington wants progress on setting up an international stabilization force and a new governing body for Gaza. Well, in the last few minutes, both men have been speaking, so let's have a listen to what they've been saying.
A few days ago, we had our historic visit by President Trump that will be etched in the annals of our nation's history. We're fortunate today to have a visit by Vice President J.D. Vance, and I want to tell you a few things about that. First, in the last year, we've had an unmatched alliance and partnership with the United States. That is changing the Middle East. And it's also changing the world. It creates opportunities not only for security, but for the expansion of peace, which we're working on very, very diligently. And it's just unmatched. I've been here a few years. I've been through several administrations. I welcome the partnership and the assistance we've had. But there's never been anything like that. And President Trump said that. It's like a partnership. It's never happened before. Well, that includes a close circle, both on our side and on the American side. And President Trump knows who he picks for that circle. One of the members, to put it mildly, is the Vice President. We've had the opportunity to make decisions jointly in a very tight-knit and trusting partnership. And I was impressed. I was impressed with your clarity, with your incisiveness, with your solidarity for our common cause, and just a genuine friendship that I saw both in our conference meetings, but also in our private meetings. And it's in that spirit that I very much welcome you to Jerusalem in these days of destiny. We're changing the face of the Middle East. And I have to say, I was going to say, bring your family next year in Jerusalem, but welcome this year in Jerusalem, our great friend, J.D. Vance.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and thanks to your entire team for your hospitality and for having us. As the Prime Minister said, these are days of destiny, and we're very excited to sit down and work together on the Gaza peace plan. We have a very, very tough task ahead of us, which is to disarm Hamas, but rebuild Gaza to make life better for the people in Gaza, but also to ensure that Hamas is no longer a threat to our friends in Israel. That's not easy. I think the Prime Minister knows that as well as anybody, but it's something that we're committed to in the Trump administration. And I think that we've, even in the past 24 hours, had a lot of good conversations with our friends in the Israeli government, but also, frankly, with our friends in the Arab world who are stepping up and volunteering to play a very positive role in this. So we're going to keep working at it. I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I know the president was here a week ago to welcome the hostages home and actually sign the deal a week into it. There's a lot of work to do, but I feel very optimistic about where we are. So thank you for the partnership. Thanks for your willingness to continue to work on this, and I think we're going to do great things here. It's not going to be easy. I know that there are some folks in the media who I think are rooting against this proposal, but I think that we have an opportunity to do something really historic. So we're going to keep working at it with all of our friends in the Israeli government. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Prime Minister.
A handshake there between the Israeli Prime Minister and the US Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is in Israel on a short visit, and we heard there that he felt very optimistic about the ceasefire in Gaza holding on, despite, of course, at the weekend some challenges there.